quickly on the recession.
Yeah.
Do you think there will be a recession?
I don't see it at all. I think this country is going to boom. But as I said, I can do it the easy way or the hard way. The hard way to do it is exactly what I'm doing, but the results are going to be 20 times greater.
Hello and welcome in what is being seen as a U-turn from US President Donald Trump. Day after, of course, the US markets witnessed a major sell-off, we have heard US President Donald Trump in response to a question again on US recession. He has said, I don't see it at all. So, of course, a U-turn is what this is being seen at. But, of course, to decode this further, I'm joined by Sanchita Mukherjee, senior business economist. I'm also joined by G. Chokalingam, senior market analyst. Thank you both for your time. Sanchita, how do you see this constant flip-flop, really? That, of course, the world is hearing from Donald Trump, not just on tariffs, but also now, more importantly, on the US recession.
So I think right now this entire brinkmanship and this to and fro and the eruption of the trade war is very unsettling for all global economies as well as for global markets. Markets don't deal well with uncertainty at all. And existing businesses in America are also worried because all of this is affecting consumer sentiment. It will also be very inflationary, which is an issue with their Federal Reserve, who have been struggling to control inflation. So, all of these factors make it very, very unpredictable for global economies to move on a collaborative platform. See, typically, US dollar, being the reserve currency of the world, has a responsibility because being the reserve currency of the world, the attitude of the reserve currency should be very, very collaborative and not weaponized, right, against all other economies. So we are moving to a massive era of protectionism and trade war from a very collaborative approach, which is a concern for most economies. Having said that, let's see how this impacts the global economy overall. Right now, the American markets are very jittery because, yes, recession is looming large. Any kind of a trade war would actually increase the price of goods for the American consumer. And this will affect the demand of the American consumer. And this will lead to recessionary pressure. So this is being termed as Trump session. From an economic recession, it's being termed as a Trump session.
Okay, very interesting there. G. Chokalingam, do you agree? Of course, this is being seen as a U-turn, but more importantly, for everyone saying that, look, the day after, of course, we have seen consistent jitters from the past 2 days, and the US market, massive sell-off there with all tech majors witnessing sharp losses. Of course, NASDAQ wiping out over 1 trillion in just one trading session. Your thoughts really on this U-turn coming from Donald Trump? And for those wondering, saying that, look, is the US really going to head into recession?
Yeah, very interesting question. Definitely, there will be a U-turn in his aggressive stance, but whether he will give up the trade war, I doubt. He has to do a balancing act. What I mean is, if you look at the 2024, the trade deficit of US was $918 billion. So at this rate, every year, US economy will end up with a trade deficit of nearly $1 trillion, which in the medium to long term will create a crisis for the US economy. So he is right in taking measures on tariff war, but he is wrong in taking a very aggressive stance. That's my firm view, because it is backfiring the US economy now. Look at the stock markets. NASDAQ is down 13% year to date. All the gains after Mr. Trump euphoria gone away. And the low-rated companies now asked to pay higher premium compared to the European companies. US dollar index is nearly down 5%. The planned job cuts in the US is the highest level since COVID pandemic. Small businesses are suffering a lot in terms of the margin, in terms of retaining the jobs. So he will definitely take a U-turn on the aggressive stance. And therefore, in a couple of months, I think this would not be a major reason for the markets, including Indian markets, to correct, continuously. And moreover, according to some estimates, the impact for India would be only around $7 billion, due to the new tariff proposed. And also, we are not a major exporter of goods to America. We generate around $48 billion of trade surplus, whereas China generates about $361 billion. So we are relatively better off. So things are backfiring, and he will take a U-turn on aggressive stance. But tariff war to a limited extent will continue. That market would accept because it has already paid a huge price across the world. So therefore, I see particularly Indian market bottoming out by end of this month, and there's significant recovery starting from the new financial year, that is in April 2025.
Right. Last word to you, Sanchita. Quickly, of course, we've discussed tariffs, we've discussed his U-turn, the constant flip-flop, and the tariff uncertainty at large. But for those wondering, look, is the US really heading into recession? What are the fundamentals looking like? Your thoughts?
My thoughts is it should ideally be net positive for India. I completely agree with Chokalingam sir over here. More importantly than our exports to US, I would think that all of this uncertainty, this to and fro, the eruption of the trade war, would actually have a very dampening negative sentiment effect on global trade, which will make oil prices very, very soft. Now, who will benefit from lower oil prices? It'll be India and China, because we are massive importers of oil. We are net importers of oil, right? So it'll be net positive on our balance sheet. This would also give our manufacturing sector a huge boost in the arm in terms of gearing more towards domestic consumption and our domestic market, because like he rightfully said, we don't export that much to US in any case. This is, if oil prices are down, it will be very good in terms of focusing on our own domestic manufacturing to cater to our domestic market.
Right. We will, of course, continue to track that and more. Of course, the spotlight on the latest announcements from US President Donald Trump. Never a dull day, never a dull week. So, of course, we will continue to track both the markets as well as the economy. Thank you both for your time and your thoughts.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.